My name is Lillian Mukami and I am a content creator. I am a YouTuber. I have a channel called the Mokame Show. I'm also a brand owner of a sportswear company called Nivo Sports. And so I'm very passionate about going out there and trying out different stuff that appeal to the young generation, as well as making money, side hustles here and there. But the aspect generally is just to try and be as creative as possible, try and mentor as many people as possible. I am a firstborn of 2 boys, and I was brought up in Ukambani, but my mom is Embu, so I speak both Embu and Kamba. And I schooled in Ukambani throughout high school and also primary. Then I went to do my undergraduate in Moi University. I did finance and banking. Thereafter, I got a few jobs. Then I proceeded to do my MBA in strategic management at Kenyatta University. So I have previously been employed in financial institutions. I've worked with quite a number of banks, as well as a few NGOs and other, regular corporates. I'm also still employed, but I do a lot of businesses as well on the side. Yes, so my childhood really was interesting, but it was just a bit normal, nothing too exciting. I was fairly reserved. I was not a very out there person, but I loved to read a lot. I really loved reading books. To date, I still read a lot. I remember my first book that I read was by Daniel Steele, and I think I was in class 5. My mom introduced, not the first book, but the first novel. My mom introduced me to novels at a very early age. And so now that has, books, they really teach you a lot. You learn a lot. They make you a very diverse person, deep, and you can have very deep conversations just out of continuously reading and broadening your mind. So other than being an avid reader, I'm very passionate about sports, very passionate about fitness and health and wellness and nutrition. I love to take care of myself, to take care of my body, because you only get this body once. You gotta take good care of it. Yeah. And there's something I always say, that if you take care of your body right now, at your youth, at your tender age, it's going to come through for you at old age. Because these small steps that you're doing right now, exercising, eating quality foods, they lead up to, your body responds very well over time. And so come old age, you'll be able to sort of tell a difference between someone who really took good care of themselves and someone who at all did not care about looking after themselves. So I have been very passionate about that, and I advocate for fitness. Even the people within my circle, they know that I have such a huge passion for fitness. Interestingly, it began, that need for working out began when I was, I think, in campus. And I used to go to a certain gym called Steel City. So we had a very great coach there who was always motivating me and to work my best and to look really good. Someone called Ralph, he was like more of my personal trainer. So within no time, I started coaching classes. He would give me a few classes, maybe in the morning or in the evening, to train, to do aerobics. And that has, with time, it has now built me to become the person that I am today. And that is also how now Nivo Sport was born. I felt fitness needs to be fun, not too serious. we are moving away from wearing boring tracksuits and t-shirts and just regular wear to the gym. You want to look confident. You want to look you want to wear something that reflects or shows the after effects of, you know, the working out, if you get what I mean. So we're coming up with very nice, trendy, colorful, but most importantly very comfortable wear. So at the moment we're only doing stuff for ladies, but in future we're looking also to introduce menswear, because there's been a lot of demand for menswear. So that is something that we're really looking forward to doing. The Mokame Show majorly is a channel that began from during the COVID period, and I felt people needed to be lightened during that period. We were going through so much as a country, and so I'll just create content that is interesting, is lively, you know. And I remember the first video that I did was about friends with benefits. You can always have a look at it. It was just something, you know, very first video, just speaking my heart out, trying to lighten people's moods, etc. But then
there are these kinds of friends who will only look for you when they're in trouble. Saa zile wako kwa noma fulani, wamesota, wame break up na their spouses, sijui wako tu msoto tu, wako chini. That's the only time they remember you. Every other time unawapigia, unawatafuta, unasikia, oh, sijui niko road trip, niko na mama, sijui naenda kanya machoma, kuna kadiri fulani, naenda kukafunga. Lakini wewe ukiwatafuta zile mablutik, unakulishangwa chini. Lakini wacha wasote tu kidogo hivi. Wacha mama awache, or they start having issues. That's when, hey, unajua we ni beste yangu, bazenga, sijui bazu, sijui nani, you know? But you all know revenge is bad, but tit for tat, my friend, is so sweet. Revenge is sweet, you know. Inakuanga tu na kutamu fulani. Hata wewe, like, there's no way you're going to be going near my on me, but ukinipigia when you want me, or when you, okay, not want, when when, oh shit, that shit is funny. When you're in trouble or you need me to help you in anything, that's now when you dial my number. Let me tell you, I will give you a block of your lifetime. You'll never see it coming. So watu wa mulikwe, it is wrong. We are not accepting it. 2020 imetuchapa. We don't want any more bull crap.
But then, of course, with time now, I started to think about now the larger audience, and people want to know what celebrities are doing, you know, celebrity gossip. And so I try to get some grapevine here and there, do a few research, check out the social media, follow them around, just to understand also, and to feed people with, you know, because there's that something about human beings or Kenyans that we want to get the juice and to understand really in depth what these people, their lives are like, what is trending in, or, you know, because these are, some of them are influencers, some of them are musicians, yeah. But also we are also trying to get interviews for, you know, people that are inspiring in the community, people that are shaping the society, as well as content creators as well, like yourself, Roy, yeah. So really we want to bring a lot of exposure also to the young generation. There are people who are doing really, really good things out there, yeah. And so if you give them a voice and give them a platform whereby they're able to talk about it, also express themselves, it's just a culmination of quite a number of things that are going on the Mukami Show. I have thought about a fitness vlog, because you want also, you know, not only to sell the items, the athleisure wear, but you also want to inspire people and be able to guide them, in certain ways as far as fitness is concerned. So the aspect will be to create content when I'm working out or I'm in the gym, and some of the sessions that we normally have, I go to a gym called Zoezi Arena. It's at Jewel Complex along Thika Road, and they have really, really good trainers. You can always pop in and see. But it's very important that you live by what you're preaching. So in future, we not only to do vlogs but also blogs as well around fitness, something that someone can always refer to, and something that has talks about the nutrition aspect in terms of what kind of foods someone can eat, portions, how to check your BMI, etc. Even the most effective kinds of workouts to do for different people, for women, for men, people within a certain age. What is going to apply to a 20-year-old would not apply probably to a 50-something-year-old or a pregnant lady or someone with a certain illness. So this content will be geared towards a very large audience, but also in a very specific way. While growing up, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I would consider myself very entrepreneurial. Let me start by saying, growing up, I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to be in the media field. But then I took a passion in business, and this came about when I was in high school. Our business teacher, she was very passionate about, business and starting companies, and she would give us examples of very successful, the Elon Musks of this world and the Jeff Bezos, etc. So she used to cite, but that of course only was squeezy, but then she would cite Bill Gates, etc. So I really took a serious passion in business when I was in high school, and from then on I started finding ways through which I would make some extra coins every other time. So you'd find after school, I'm selling stuff to my friends. I remember even when we go home to chamas, family gatherings, I would always have stuff that I'm selling. Either I'm selling shoes, I'm selling bags, I'm selling bed sheets, etc. But then I have also tried or done quite a number of businesses. I've had a nail spa. I have had a training or a consultancy firm. I've also done a few things here and there, blogging. I used to have a company called Prime News 254. But then this is just, I feel like I was trying to find myself, find my footing, and try and see which areas would I be interested in to pursue at a long-term period. And so now that's how the Mokame Show was born. That is also how Nivo Sport has been. But definitely the future looks very bright, and we're going to continue coming up with, a lot more content, a lot more brands, and supporting upcoming talent as well. I definitely have a team that are really working on the content creation for both the Mukami Show and also for Nivo Sport. So for Mukami Show, ideally there has to be video recording, we have to have editing, and so when I was starting off, I used to do much of that because it was during the lockdown period. So really I would have to record the videos myself. I would have to edit with my very basic editing skills that are self-taught really. But over time now since now things are back a bit. Managed to have a team that we work with that ensure the shootings are done properly, edited, etc. Also now for Nivo Sport, I need a venue every other time for shooting the photos, also models, and ideally most of these models are actually my friends. So I'm always calling out to, I tell them in advance there's going to be a photo shoot this and this period if you're available. Yeah. Also brand ambassadors. You want people that you will take your product out there. Remember, this is a new brand, so we're still trying to push it to the market. So if you can have as many people talking about it as much as possible, then ideally that really goes a long way. Also, now the behind the scenes people that ensure that everything else is running smoothly as far as social media is concerned. So there's been also a lot of support from my family and friends. I really totally appreciate. You'll find, particularly like when the items are arrived, or when I was starting, and also when the YouTube channel began, the first people that are going to support you or that supported me were my family, and also the people within my circle, my friends. So I really appreciate that. And you see, with that now, they'll give you very honest feedback, and so now you'll be confident, a lot more confident, and also get some sort of finesse in terms of what content you're creating, what products you're having or you're coming up with. So that has really helped a lot. For the brands, I think the highest of the moments would be when clients are happy. When you sell products and the reception is very good and your clients are happy and they give you referral business and they talk about it a lot and they also come back to get more products, the level of satisfaction that brings to me is on another level. For me, that really tells me that I'm doing something good, and so it gives me just the zeal to keep going. So, or even on the Mokame Show, when you do a video and it trends and it moves masses, that is all I can ask for, really. On the lower side, I think the low moments would be a few aspects here and there. Maybe when an order goes bad, and maybe in terms of the delivery challenges here and there, and you'll always find some of these issues coming up, or because these products, they are manufactured outside, what happens is you come up with designs and also now send them to your manufacturer. And the reason why these products are not done here in Kenya is because the materials that I used some of the materials that I used to make them, like what we call spandex, is not locally available. And secondly, it's also very costly to have it here in Kenya. So the process now has to be identify a manufacturer that you can trust and that is really efficient as far as production is concerned. Give them your designs, and then now they'll be able to come up with really nice products. You choose the textures, and then now they'll send you samples. If you like the products, or if you have any amendments that you want made, you tell them, and then later you have the final product.
Virtual samples or actual samples?
Actual samples, not virtual samples. Actual samples, they ship them, or they can send via flights, etc. But so now once they come here, if you like it, or if not, then you give that feedback. But Now the challenge with that would be if they are not, the final product is comes differently or turns out to be different from the sample that you received, or the changes that you wanted implemented were not done as you wanted them to be, then it also becomes very costly. But then again, you know, business has to have risks, and we appreciate you get the learnings. A colleague of mine tells me, fall, but get up very quickly. Don't stay down. Learn from your mistake and move very fast. So that really keeps me going. I think I would say it's very important to have good networks and people that can talk about your brand, because you never know who is listening and you don't know what networks they have. So I've had instances where some of my friends, they tell me, they call me and say, I have a certain friend who could be someone an influencer in the community or someone that is well known, and they want to model for your product for free, because you know it's through networking. Not that I'm saying I'm advocating for free services or whichever the case, but I'm just saying how such moments come in handy, or such networks. And so if, for instance, it's someone that has a great following, then you know what that will do to your business, in terms of they just need to post one photo and you know it takes your business very far, if I may call it that. But you just need to have someone pushing your business out there, and it can be life-changing. So such instances have been there. Even for the Mokame Show, there's been instances where you've done a video and it does really well, and it brings very many subscribers. So really, for me, what I usually say is, for everything that you do it the last thing that you're gonna do on this earth. Give it your best, leave the rest to God. And why that is important is you'd never know who is going to come across it. You can come up with very great content, and at the moment you feel, you know, maybe it was just a waste of time, but it might just fall in the right hands, and someone really takes a note or a keen eye on the content that you're creating, and that can, you know, be the opportunity that you've been looking for. Your hand, and they mentor you and they get you to the right connections, and before you know it, you're doing really well and inspiring people. So such stories are there. The journey can be really, really frustrating. It can be, there are very many long nights, sleepless nights, but the rewards are also there. If you put in time, if you're consistent, what happens is sometimes we tend to give up, which is very normal. But as I said earlier, fall, but get up very quickly. Do not stay down. I have collaborated with quite a number of brands, and majorly it's because everyone always has a part that they play in every other person's business or livelihood. Yeah, you cannot run this show alone, because you're going to find that you might want to work with some social media agencies, for example, or marketing companies, or you might want professional photographers, you might want videographers, you might want models. So very many aspects come into partnership, and you do your research, but also you have to factor in the cost effectiveness, because when you're starting off new businesses, really you cannot be spending as much, so you try and it's a balance. But I have to say that yes, I have partnered with quite a number of companies, and the experience has been tremendous, because you learn something new every day. I could have been doing something in a very simple and way, but it's simply because, and it has taken me this far. But if I'm able to partner with someone who has a lot more experience in the market, someone who has partnered and pushed very many other brands out there, then I have an advantage. And if you tap into that, then it has, the ripple effects are also equally good. I would say at the moment, as far as the income that I'm getting from the Mokame Show, from Mibo Sport, it's sufficient. I cannot complain, but I feel there's a lot of input that comes with starting off, particularly a brand. You really need to inject a lot of resources. So I'm not at the point where fully I would now take a back seat from formal employment and pursue that, but I can. But I feel there needs to be some supplementary income or resources just to push the business, because you're going to incur a lot of marketing costs. You're going to incur you need to also to pay the manufacturers, the designers, the videographers, etc. So there is a lot of capital injection that needs to be done, and that is done on a continual basis. So, but I would really say it really pays. Content creation and just business as in general, if you put in the effort, if you put in the hours, if you put in work, and remain consistent, pays in the long run. It's just that you have to scratch the surface, but it doesn't last forever. I would say I am passionate about everything that I do. I go out of my way to ensure that everything I do, I give it my optimum best. So as far as talent is concerned, maybe I'll discover it probably in a few years to come, but right now I would say I am a very hardworking person. But also, why that is the case is because there have been very many people that have been instrumental in my life, and so I always feel like I need to give back and help upcoming talented people, young people. Biashara, we have to support each other in any case. So every other time there are gigs that I'm doing, I have to think of, I know someone that is doing ABCD, how can I incorporate them? So that also to boost them, to also put out their content and their brand out there. So I feel it's very important to give back and do everything that you're doing with passion, and the results will be amazing. I would say that it has a lot of dynamics in terms of, as a youth you come across challenges, financial, there is a lot of support that you need. You're still discovering yourself, the market, you're competing with probably big brands that have been in the market and in the business for a very long time. So you're trying to maneuver your way through, and it can be hectic, it can be challenging, but also what better time to start a business other than when you are at your prime, right? And now we have social media, we have internet. People are embracing technology, so it's a bit easier, particularly if you're a content creator now, to push your content out there. The platforms are there. It's just for you now to understand them, to be very strategic, and to collaborate with other people within your area, because those collaborations, they really help a lot. If you're a YouTuber and you've been creating content, and you can now think of someone still doing something that is within what you're also doing, and you do videos together, so their audience, they see your content, and vice versa. So over time, then you get a lot of visibility, and you're able to push your business. I've also worked with elder people, and the most important thing about it is the experience and the knowledge that you get out of it, because they have been there, they've done it. Some probably have very successful businesses. If now I'm able to learn a lot from them, then I take every opportunity I can just to grasp it and try and rub off on their knowledge and their skills, to understand how they got there. What did it take? And most of them will tell you, or they tell me that it has taken a lot of time. If you think of Coca-Cola, for instance, it was in the market for quite a number of years, probably 7 years, before it even broke even. But now it's one of the biggest giants as far as business is concerned in the world. So those are some learnings really. But it's such a wonderful experience, and it can only get better from this point on. For anyone in business, or that is thinking of starting a business, it's gonna have challenges, but it's the best thing that you can do, particularly for independence, that is financial independence, and it has a freeing aspect to it. So until you try, you will never quite know how good it can be, or where it can take you. Just start, get out there, bring your creative aspect out, talk to people, find yourself, find your footing. But most importantly, no matter how tough it gets, you can always fall, but get up as fast as you've fallen. Don't stay down, because once you stay down, it's gonna get hard now. But for me, I would say it's such a great experience. It's liberating. It has a very nice feeling to it when you're coming up with good stuff and people like it and they enjoy it. So for me, I would say the grass is always greener on the other side, but until you go to that other side, you may never know really. So everyone has their own path, everyone has their own passion. The people that are passionate about travel, the people that are passionate about sports or media, or you name it, comedy, etc. Find yourself and take the bull by its horns. You never know, you just might never know where it's gonna lead you.